It's not member's fault. It's our obligation to review it before. Why the hell did you ask for the 24 before? Nonsense.
So, Mr. Speaker, I think the member from Clarendon Central was on point in relation to his framing of it, and also the member from St. Catherine Southwestern.
This week in Jamaica's Parliament, a dramatic moment unfolded when Everald Warmington MP sided with the opposition against his own party colleague, Floyd Green, during a heated dispute over parliamentary procedure. Warmington, the Member of Parliament for South Western St. Catherine, openly challenged Floyd Green, the Minister of Agriculture, over the correct process for raising and approving parliamentary questions. What made the exchange particularly striking was that party loyalty took a back seat to parliamentary principle, offering the public a rare glimpse into internal accountability within Jamaica's Parliament. Firstly, let's take a look at the build-up to the issue which triggered Everald Warmington to lay the heat on Minister Floyd Green. Footage is courtesy of PBCJ.
Mr. Speaker, I'm seeking clarification again, because an attempt was made yesterday by a member to inquire or to submit questions to the Speaker for approval for tabling today. And it was followed by, again, a document circulated to the member which confused the process. And I'm really hoping that we can clarify this finally. And also to be able to get a clear timeline as to when, what time during Monday, the questions must be submitted for them to be properly vetted for tabling today. Because I think it's unfair that the member, having submitted the questions for vetting yesterday, the approval has not come as yet. So I'm urging that a definitive statement be made as to what time on the Monday is a cutoff time for the tabling of questions, so that we don't have a confused state of affairs going forward.
I think on this matter, the Speaker has issued clear directions in relation to the questions to be submitted. I think my recollection is within at least 24 hours before one intends to table them. But this is a process. Once the questions are tabled, then the questions, in accordance with the standing order, have to be vetted, looked at, examined by the Speaker to ensure that they are in accordance with said standing orders. We would have gone through this process already. This letter, my understanding, with the questions would have come in yesterday, and the Speaker at the time has not gotten the chance as yet to look at it, and as such, the questions are not now here with us. As we can all appreciate, the Speaker is not in the House at this time, and as such, as such, based on the time when the questions arrived, and the Speaker not being able to peruse the questions at that time, the questions are not yet before us. I'm very certain that as soon as the Speaker can peruse the questions, once the questions are in keeping with the standing orders, then the questions will be so tabled at the next appropriate time.
The exchange was during the parliamentary sitting of January 27, 2026. And as you can see, the disagreement is not about any specific questions. Instead, it's on whether the correct procedure had been followed for a question to be brought before the House. Floyd Green therefore explained to Parliament that, according to his understanding, parliamentary questions must be submitted at least 24 hours before the sitting, and must also be reviewed by the Speaker, before they can be properly tabled. In this particular case, he indicated that even if the question was submitted on time, which was also in question, it had not yet been reviewed by the Speaker, and therefore had not completed the full procedural process required under the standing orders. Based on that interpretation, Floyd Green maintained that the question could not yet be entertained by the House, and it's on that point that Everald Warmington stepped in with strong objections to that position. Let's now hear Everald Warmington's take on the situation and why he was not happy.
If a member submits his or her question 24 hours before, It's no business of the member whether the speaker look at it or not. It's supposed to be with it before the sitting. It can be 10 minutes before. It can be 10 minutes before. Okay? So if the speaker says 24 hours, the member make them available to the clerk before. Okay? If the member delivered to the clerk 24 hours before, it's not the member's fault. So we can't say the speaker didn't have the time to look at them. Why the hell did you ask for the 24 hours before? It's not the member's fault. The speaker took 24 hours. The member filled his or her obligation. So it's not our business whether or not the speaker look at it. It's our obligation to review it before. Don't tell the member the speaker didn't get a chance to look at it. That's not unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And we shouldn't bring the House to that level to come with this nonsense about they get a chance to read. Nonsense.
Warmington's argument and objection is very simple. He's arguing that, once a member submits a parliamentary question within the required timeframe, the member has fulfilled their responsibility. Therefore, it is not the responsibility of the member to ensure that the speaker has reviewed the question before the sitting. That obligation, he maintained, lies with the administration of Parliament. For the opposition benches, Warmington's intervention was exciting, as it's likely a rare moment where a governing party member publicly supported their concerns. However, Floyd Green did not retreat from his position. Later in the exchange, he took his phone and referred directly to a previous ruling by the speaker, and although he had to correct his 24-hour requirement noted initially, he read directly from it, emphasizing the point that questions must go through the correct process in accordance with the ruling, meaning that although he's coming under fire, his original point that the speaker must review the question first remains correct. Take a listen.
Mr. Speaker, I would have just gotten sight of the Speaker's ruling on this matter the last time that it came up. And what I said earlier was not a part of the Speaker's ruling in relation to the 24-hour period. What the Speaker had indicated in her ruling is that the standing orders are to be strictly adhered to. In other words, at question time, the member looking to table questions are to hand up the questions at that time. At that time, the questions, then there will be a vetting of the questions. It does not mean that the questions being handed up at this time, that the Speaker who is currently sitting in the House will be able to vet them immediately and to see if they are keeping with the standing orders. And to be clear, let me just read what was said. Standing Orders 15.2 provides as a notice of a question may be handed to the clerk during question time. So when the Speaker indicates question time, all members are reminded that strict adherence to this standing order is required to avoid confusion or conflict. So in other words, bringing it in before 24 hours, that's not the methodology, all right? So, no, that's not what, this is the ruling of the Speaker. Once received by the clerk, when it comes to question, once received by the clerk, each question must be submitted to the Speaker to enable the discharge of the responsibilities under Standing Order 16.2. That standing order empowers the Speaker to determine whether a question infringes any standing order or constitutes an abuse of the right of questioning, and to direct the question to be amended or entered in the order book with such alterations as may be necessary. The Speaker's review ensures that the questions are properly framed, comply with the standing orders, and may be tabled in an orderly and procedurally correct manner. According to Standing Order 15.2, accordingly, Standing Order 52 does not guarantee same-day tabling. Effective immediately, questions submitted during question time under Standing Order 15.2 will be received and reviewed by the Speaker. All questions will be tabled following the completion of the Speaker's review once deemed to be in full compliance with the standing orders. The procedure safeguards the rights of members, ensures the orderly management of parliamentary business, and confirms that all questions comply with the standing orders. Members are therefore expected to comply fully with these directions. As such, we can recommit question time for the member to submit to the clerk the questions. And then the Speaker will review the questions for the questions to be in keeping with the standing orders in accordance with 15.2, and once that review is done, then the questions will be tabled. You have a right to table in accordance with the standing orders. So let us proceed with that standing order. Yes. Just to be clear, members, I would have said earlier, and that was incorrect. What the Speaker has indicated is what I just read. That was her ruling that in keeping with the standing orders, during question time, the questions are to be tabled and then they'll be reviewed by the Speaker to ensure that they're in keeping with the standing orders.
This brief but intense exchange served as a reminder that parliamentary procedure is not a mere formality. It plays a central role in how accountability is enforced and how democracy functions inside the House. It also demonstrated that internal disagreement can, and does, occur within the same political party when members believe that principles are at stake. Drop us a comment below. What did you think about what Everald Warmington said? And how do you think Minister Floyd Green handled the whole situation? If you enjoyed this clip of the Jamaica Parliament debate, don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and share your thoughts below.